I hope you do have also your notebook and somewhere to write. Okay, so exploratory factor analysis is used in two ways. Exploratory factor analysis is used in two ways. We use it as a construct validity technique. We can use it as a construct validity technique. We can use it as a construct validity technique. And we can also use it as a dimension reduction technique. Then we can also use it as a dimension reduction technique. Right? So I will repeat, exploratory factor analysis is used as a construct validity technique as well as a dimension reduction technique. So in this session, we are going to explore both ways, starting with the construct validity technique. We are going to explore both ways, starting with the construct validity technique. Okay. So, I want to give a definition of construct validity. Definition of construct validity. Construct validity can be also known as factorial validity. Construct validity can be also known as factorial validity. And this validity basically refers to whether the factor structure of the questionnaire makes intuitive sense. Makes intuitive sense. This validity basically refers to whether the factor structure of the questionnaire makes intuitive sense. That's factorial validity or construct validity. Right? As such, factorial validity is assessed through factor analysis. As such, factorial validity is assessed through factor analysis. So when you have a final set of items, you can conduct a factor analysis. When you have your final set of items, you can conduct a factor analysis on the data. You can conduct factor analysis on the data. Okay, so that was about the definition of factor analysis. Also, another author, that was Andy Field, the one which I just gave you, the definition which I just gave you is coming from Andy Field. Is coming from Andy Field, and this one is coming from, the other one here is coming from Diggins. It's coming from Diggins. To test the validity of the constructs in a questionnaire, an exploratory factor analysis is performed to determine if the individual questions load onto or contribute to the constructs in the questionnaire, right? So if you want to test the validity of the questionnaire, an exploratory factor analysis is performed. So you can see that what we spoke from that definition earlier in this one, they're exactly the same. Then there are two types of factor analysis: exploratory factor analysis, which is known as EFA, and confirmatory factor analysis, which is known as CFA, right? So what you just need to do, or what you just need to know is EFA is normally applied EFA is normally applied on a newly designed questionnaire. EFA is normally applied on a newly designed questionnaire, whereas CFA is applied on a pre-existing questionnaire. Is applied on a pre-existing questionnaire. Is applied on a pre-existing questionnaire. Okay, so going back to questionnaire design. For you to be able to perform construct validity on a questionnaire, the questionnaire has to include some constructs, right? For you to be able to perform construct validity on a questionnaire, the questionnaire itself has to have some constructs. So if you do not have some constructs on a questionnaire, you can't expect to perform construct validity or factorial validity. So which then means that if you do have single response questions, multiple response questions, open-ended questions on a questionnaire, then you can do construct validity, right? So if you do have single response questions, multiple response questions, and open-ended response questions, you can't perform construct validity. Then also, there is a situation whereby you may have some liquid scale questions in your questionnaire, but they are like single-handedly. One there, two there, they don't formulate a construct. So you can't also perform construct validity as well. You can't also perform construct validity. There are some people, when they come to my office, I will tell them, no, you need to have a construct with some liquid scale questions. Then one will say, but I do have two questions there with the liquid scale, another one there, liquid scale. So why can't I do construct validity? So they need to be, normally when you are designing a questionnaire, personally, I recommend a minimum of 6 statements or items to measure a certain construct, right? A minimum of 6. That's what I recommend according to my experience of working in this field. That's what I recommend. Okay, so this is a questionnaire. Our data is based from this questionnaire. Our data is based from this questionnaire, and it has got all these constructs. So our data was collected based on this questionnaire, and I have shared this questionnaire with you, right? Among your resources, I've shared this questionnaire with you. So we just have to check whether, for example, here, all these 7 items are they really measuring capacity planning practices. Then also these 10 items, are they measuring inventory management practices? These 10 items again, are they measuring employee satisfaction activities? These 7 items, are they measuring operations management practices? So that's what we are going to check. Yeah, so the process is going to be a bit long. So as usual, whilst we are writing down the steps, right? So let's begin. Let's open our data file. So myself, that's my data file. Are we there? Okay, make sure you have the data file. Don't open the one for dimension reduction. Open the one for construct validity. Open the one for construct validity. Open the data file for construct validity, not the one for dimension reduction. We are opening the data file with construct validity in front. Yeah? Okay. Okay, make sure that all of us were there. Make sure that all of us were in that file. Okay, this one. Okay, let's go analyze. Analyze dimension reduction factor. Then I'll stop there. Analyze dimension reduction, then factor. Yes. We are starting with construct validity, yes. Are we there? Then we click factor. Then we click factor. Then you take all of these items from CPP1 to the last. You take all of these items. Are we there? Okay, then let's click descriptives. Let's click descriptives. Then here you're gonna add KMO. You take all your items to the right. You click factor. right? You click factor, then you take all your items here to the right here. Yeah, these they need to be here. Then you click descriptives and you add coefficients and KMO here. And KMO. Yes. There's got more than that. This one. It's got more than that. This one. Okay, it starts here. I think so. Yeah. We're working from SPSS file. Yes. Yeah, I think it's we're having this in the old days before anyone felt this. This is then that was used to meanwhile was the high school continuous level
Make sure that you check it away. Because right now it's in the crowd.
We have a question. Josephine, you can go ahead and speak.
Sorry, but I think I got lost. I got lost. You know, I just opened up. When I was opening up the file, by the time I knew it, doctor was already doing analysis. So I was trying to trace back how we got to this place of fact analysis. So I'm just lost.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm very disappointed, to be honest enough. First and foremost, I'm very disappointed with some of you. I think from the word go, right, from the first level one workshop, I told you that you need to be organized, right? I told you that you need to, for example, you can see myself here. I've got this folder written workshop material, right? So from you guys, I expect you to have a big folder written. Can you please do what I'm doing as well on your laptops, right? Because when you say I'm lost, I'm doing this, it's because you're not organized, right? Can you please have a folder on your laptop right now, written SPSS training? Let's start there. Let's have a big folder like this. Mine is workshop material. Yours must be written SPSS training. Let's have a folder like that. Are we there? Even online. Because I can see failing to be ordered is something which is making you lost. Because you're not organized. Right? So have a folder like this. Yours is going to be called SPSS training. Mine is called workshop material. Right? Then inside this folder, let's have subfolders. Inside this folder, let's have subfolders. I think we started with questionnaire design, isn't it? This, you must have a folder like this in your inside the big folder SPSS training, right? You must have a folder like this, quantitative and questionnaire design, because we did. That was our first workshop about, right? Please make sure that you have that and you are doing exactly what I'm doing. Otherwise, how can you follow when you're not ordered, when you're not organized on your laptop? Everything is everywhere. When you say let's click this, yourself you can't find it. Let's click this, you can't find it. Let's click this, you can't find it because you're not organized. Then you become lost, right? Make sure you've got a folder written quantitative and questionnaire design, followed by introduction to SPSS and data cleaning. Right? Are you following? Are we there? Then followed by descriptive statistics. Then followed by descriptive statistics. Okay, when I send you material, right? When I send you material, I send you material in a zipped what? Folder, because the material will be heavy to send it once, right? So can you please unzip it? I can see some of you used to have those zipped files. How can you work in a zipped file? Unzip those files. Very simple like this. Yeah, wait. This is why are you keeping this if you got this? Why are you keeping this if you do have this? Very simple like this. Do this. Wait, this. We take this. Cut. Go back here. Paste. That's what you do. Why are you creating another exploration?
No, the thing is, when you unzip, it creates another folder that is not zipped.
You see what I did?
Yeah.
Very simple.
It's but the folder is already there.
You see. Then this will disappear. Right? Then at the end of the day, you delete this one. Make sure that you delete once you take the content from the zipped and you have that zipped, delete the one which is zipped. Why are you keeping both? You see what I did?
Yeah.
Lane to lane, right? Don't argue. Lane.
I'm not arguing what I'm saying.
Can you see what I did?
Yes. But you can see the folder is already. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying you can't have two folders in the same folder. The zipped one and zipped one. Why? That's my point. That's what I'm asking. So that's why I'm saying be ordered. Can you please delete this and delete another one? You can't have 1, 2, 3, all these pieces. Why? Get organized. So, what's your folder?
Yeah, I'm just trying to
See?
make sure that the one that you're looking for is part of your sent.
That's one relation. This one is what I'm saying. From level 1, let's have a folder where you are setting all your video. Where right now you are working from online, right?
I learned the folder.
Okay, that's why we should work for.
Yeah, but I think I'm not able to put the file here.
It is the researcher. Go back and delete so that you download the research one. So there is not there.
Yeah, just
This one.
for this one.
This one. Yeah.
Is
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah. Let's get organized, please. Because you're going to say, I'm lost. Everything is everywhere. Right now, if you look at someone's desktop, right, it's full of documents. Desktop is only for icons, right? A desktop is only for icons, not documents. So now you must also have another one, exploratory effect analysis and reliability analysis. So that's where we are working from now, right? That's where we are currently working from. This one. Okay. Are we all organized, including the online people? Are we all organized now, including the online? Okay, thank you. Let's move on now. Okay, so I'm starting again. Analyze, dimension reduction, factor. Then you click factor. Right? You take everything to your left, all the statements or all the items. Then you put them to your right. Right? Then from here, you click descriptives. You click coefficients. You click KMO. Are we there? We are there, right? Okay, then we click continue. We click continue. Then we click extraction. Then we click extraction. Are we writing the steps? Okay, remember we are going to do exploratory effect analysis again, but as a dimension reduction technique. I'm going to ask you to use your steps which you are writing. Then I will just need the answers. So if you are not writing the steps, I'm not going to repeat again. We are going to repeat exploratory effect analysis, but as a dimension reduction technique. So if you're not writing the steps, I'm not going to repeat. Okay. Okay, I said destruction, right? Then you click script plot. You click script plot. That's what you add there. Are we there? Okay, so if you click method here and you click this downward arrow, you shall see there are several methods which we can use. There are also several methods which you can use there. So the one which we have written the principal components, that's the one which they call the PCA, principal component analysis. So the principal components, that's the PCA, that's the one which we normally use. Then another popular one besides the principal components is the principal axis factoring. Another popular one besides the principal components is the principal axis factoring. The principal axis factoring. That's another popular which we normally use. But today we are going to go with the principal components. Are we there? Okay. Then maximum iteration for conversions 25. Then here based on eigenvalues greater than 1, then you leave it like that. Are we there? Hmm?
Good afternoon, Doc. Hello.
Oh, okay. 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 Yes.
Before you get to this screen, like I lost you somewhere there before we get to these principal components.
Descriptives.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yes.
Oh, and then
you
to check coefficients and KMO. Okay. No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Oh, both of them are extraction methods. It myself, I normally use the PCA. But I'm just saying some they use principal axis factoring. Okay, so then from there you click rotation. Then from there you click rotation. So if we are using principal components, right? On the rotation, you choose varimax. On the rotation, you choose varimax. If you are using principal components. On the rotation, you use varimax. Then if you had chosen principal axis factoring, on the rotation, you choose direct oblique. Then you choose direct oblique. Are you there? So principal components go with varimax. Principal axis factoring go with direct oblique. Are we there? Yeah, thank you. Okay. Then remember the maximum iterations for convergence on extraction, they were 25, isn't it? Then these ones are also 25. You must make sure that they are the same. The maximum iterations for convergence under extraction and under rotation, they need to be the same. So in this case, we've got 25, 25. Are we there? Then we click continue. We click continue. Then you go to options. Then you go to options. Then you click sorted by size. You go to options. Then you click sorted by size. Are we there? Then you click continue. Then you click continue and you click OK. You click continue, then you click OK. Then I hope you now have your output file, right? Then the first output which you need to look at, or the first table which you need to look at, is you go down here and you look for rotated component matrix. You look for the rotated component matrix. Then you copy rotated component matrix. You open your Word document and you paste there. You copy rotated component matrix and you paste it in Word. Then you start playing with colors like a kid, like this. Start playing with colors. Can you please do what I'm doing? Please do what I'm doing. Yeah? You missed what? Please make sure that you choose You choose colors which are not dim or dark. Right? Make sure that you choose brighter colors. Make sure that you choose brighter colors. Sorted by size. Then you click OK. Continue OK. Go to rotated common matrix. Yes.
Yes, good afternoon, Prof and all stakeholders.
Yes, what's up?
Yes, I'm just getting lost after the output. There's something that you had done that had gone to wait before the coloring. Maybe I'm requesting that you take us through from there. After we've had that SPSS output, how do we then move forward to get to where you are, where we are now coloring?
Go down to rotated common matrix. Go down to this table. Then you copy this one to wait. Rotated common matrix. You copy this to wait. Then you start doing some colors.
We copy 4 and 5, columns 4 and 5.
If you right click here,
Yes.
if you right click here, you say copy, right?
Yes.
It will
Yes.
copy the whole table, not only 4 and 5.
Or and then
It will
we
copy the
paste
whole
on
table.
Wade.
Yeah?
We copy and paste on Wade.
Yes.
Or and then the coloring, how does it work? What are we coloring?
Just follow what I'm coloring.
Oh, okay, I'll do so. Thanks, Prof.
Okay, sharp. There what?
No. Go into the left. That's why. But if you sit down and treat that. So all the patients give all the others they with all the agents in because I think it's given them no, you're only 90. You don't think that. Yeah, from there. No, yes. Yeah. It's because you didn't check the settings when you say SPSS. Now you can easily see what's happening. It's like that. Where's your it's not this one. Don't yeah, can you please delete it? This one. Yeah, don't save it. You don't want it. That one, yeah, you don't want it. Yeah, we don't want it to work. Yeah. You didn't do this. I said this casually.
No, ich
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, now we must hear this again.
That's what I'm doing.
Right. I'm saying. Cheers. Now, take that one for going to Nazi. You see now, it's now like 9. Yes.
And then
That's what it means.
you see,
And check your one. So you go down, you print out check. When you see it, you want to see it. Every number of chefs, she did these days. Yeah. Why is it?
We have to have the same color.
Why are you doing this? Yes. You're so well. No, you have to say, oh, this morning. When I see the well, then I was like this. How I think we're giving both are that's all. What's the I also stay in the what we also try.
yes,
This to the waste, and this shade where Please listen and listen carefully. Yeah, don't think I'm saying this. Listen to what I'm saying. Then you smooth. We have to have the same colors as you. No problem. It's better to listen and do as what I'm saying, rather than doing the opposite. But some of you are not listening. You're not doing exactly what I'm doing. Now,
Kevin, you can go ahead and speak.
I can see. Yeah.
Gavin, you can go ahead and speak.
All right, good afternoon there. So I just wanted to ask, I'm not sure if I've moved the variables which I was not supposed to move, because on my rotated component matrix, my output there, it starts with logistics challenges, then LC8 up to LC1, and then after that is followed by inventory management practices, then IMP6 up to IMP2, and just like that. It doesn't look like the one Doc just exported to the Word document there. So I'm not sure if I've selected something wrong on my side before running the output file.
Start afresh.
Okay,
Start
on the
afresh.
you see on the rotated component matrix output.
Yeah.
So my output, it starts with logistics challenges. Then it's
It's in Word. You have got words
No.
instead of codes, right?
Is in?
You have got words instead of codes, isn't it?
Yes, the first item on the output, it's written in words and then followed by the codes.
Yeah, so I'm saying you are supposed to have codes like this, isn't it? You are supposed to have codes
Yes.
here, isn't it?
Yes.
And you don't have
yes.
codes. You have got words, isn't it?
No, I have wait just before LC8. There's logistics challenges. Instead of my output starting with LC8, it starts with logistics challenges.
Yeah, it means you need to sort out your issue in the edit. You need to sort out edit here. Here.
Okay.
Edit. Options. Then you make sure that here under variable list, display names is clicked.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Here, display names is clicked. Then you click apply here. Then you accept. Then you also go to, are you there?
Yeah, just one moment. Let me go there quickly. So it's edit, and then I go to options.
Yes.
Okay, and then after options, display names. Yes, I'm there.
Click apply.
I need to click on apply.
Apply.
Okay, display names. My apply is grayed out.
Yeah?
My apply is grayed out. It doesn't give me the option to apply. It's grayed out.
What was here? What was selected here? What was selected
so
here?
I've selected display names.
Yes. And before, what was there?
When I opened, it was like that. It was already on display names.
Okay. So now go to output.
Output.
Under pivot table labeling, what is it? What is here?
Pivot label. Table labeling is names.
What is here?
On where your cursor is names. Variables and
Yeah.
labels shown as names. Yes.
It's names.
Yes.
Then okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Then start again the analysis.
Okay. Let me analyze dimension reduction factor.
Okay. Another question?
Yes,
another question?
Prof.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on that Word output file, and then
Yeah.
I'm trying to highlight the colors. So I'm having a challenge there. because it comes out as a pic. So how do I ultimately?
No, you mustn't copy as a picture. You are just going here, then you just right click like this and copy. Simple. Because
Yes.
if you copy as a picture, then you can't highlight the numbers.
And then when I go to paste, which option must I choose when I get to it? As I paste.
Copy,
Yes.
Word.
Yes.
Then you can just press Control V. Everything will be fine. Control V.
Please highlight one as an example.
Control V. Control V.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
The
please
moment when
highlight one color.
yeah,
Can you please highlight one color on the newly copied table? Yes.
you just highlight like this
Oh, okay. And then you put the color.
until you get here.
Yes.
Then your colors are here.
Thanks, Prof.
Then you choose one of them here. Don't choose dark colors only. Don't choose dark colors. Are we done? Okay. Sure. So mine is this one. Right? This is mine. Okay. Okay, what is it exactly which I was highlighting? Some people may ask, right? I was highlighting the highest factor loading per row. That the factor loading with the highest value per each row. That's exactly what I was highlighting. The highest value of each factor loading per row. If you go like this, you see that what I've highlighted is the highest value per that row. If you're gonna check it carefully right now. That's what I was highlighting. Are we there? Okay, so if we go back to our question here, how many constructs do we have in our question here? If we go back to our question here, how many constructs do we have? 5, right? Good. If we go to our related component matrix, how many components do we have? 5. Okay, I think you must be aware of the terms, right? Construct means factor, means component. So 5 components also means we do have what? 5 constructs or 5 factors, right? So what is happening here is we are trying to check whether the LCs, right? They are measuring one component. The ESAs, they are measuring another different component. Because each construct must be lying on a separate what? Component. That's how it must happen. Right? We have got 5, we say we have got 5 components, right? Which means the statements or the items measuring each component must lie together. Just exactly what is happening here. The LCs are together. Can you see? On the first component, isn't it? The ESA, they are together. You can see on the second component. The IMP, they're also together on what? On the third component. The CPPs, they are together on what? On the fourth component. Then the OMPs are together on the what? On the fifth component. So this is what we call a perfect solution, where all items are measuring what they are supposed to measure. And this is rare. This solution is rare. From 2015 until 2025, practicing this, doing my job every day, I've only came across such a solution 3 times in my whole life. From 2015 to 2025, I've only made such a solution like this only 3 times. You can't get something like this. Yes.
Why is it significant that it doesn't happen? What's significant about that particular?
No, this is special. Because each item is measuring a particular factor as per the questionnaire, as theoretically conceptualized in the questionnaire. And that doesn't happen. I'm telling you. Eh? Perfect solution. It's a perfect solution. It can't happen.
Questions in the question to align the company.
Yeah, it's very rare. Yeah. The ideal is what we are seeing right now, but it doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. So if you are going to be doing this analysis on your own, then you see maybe like on your questionnaire, maybe I'm giving an example, maybe you see the LCs, some of them running below the ECAs. Yeah, that's normal. Yes, so you need to clean it up. I had to choose this example for the sake of time. Otherwise, it's very rare to get this. Okay, you know what? Last week I was somewhere where I was offering the same workshop like this. Then I chose a different example. Yo, it was more than 1 hour fighting to clean that example. So today I thought, no. So when you're working, if you don't get a perfect solution like this, don't be surprised, because that's normal. Right? What you are seeing here is abnormal. Because you rarely get you get a solution like this. Yeah.
In the cleaning process, if you want to try and get that to align, because if you extrapolate some information, it's not aligning.
What you have to do is, it's only that maybe I deleted material from the last workshop, which I had last week. But sometimes what happens is you see maybe ESA2 and ESA4 running below IMP, right? So which means some items, they run below other components or other factors. So what you need to do is you go back to the questionnaire and you read if those items are measuring the same theme or the same issue with the way they are. If they are not, then you delete them from the solution. So that's how you clean it up. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, Prof, just one last quick question before we move from this step. Why were highest value on each construct chosen as opposed to lowest?
No, we choose the highest because according to Costello and Osborne, 2010, you you need factor loadings of 0.5 and above to really measure their respective factors.
Seconded, Prof.
According to Costello and Osborne 2010, you need a factor loading of 0.5 and above to strongly measure the relevant factor. So you can't take something below that. Are you there?
Seconded, Prof.
Okay, sharp. Our questions or statements.
So does this now analyze what the statements are saying to say the statement doesn't talk to awareness or doesn't talk to capacity from practice?
Okay, according to what we have right now, all the theoretically conceptualized statements are measuring their respective constructs perfectly. That's what we have right now. Yes.
So if that you are not going to find a solution, then so you are suggesting that we check the errors awareness and remove it.
If it's not yes, then you remove it, yes. Then you rerun again your factor analysis. Items, yes, yes. Yeah, obviously. The reason why we make them 6 minimum is the reason that when we get to this stage, we are likely to remove some. That's the reason why we make them around 6 there. If you make them many, they'll split, right? Then they can make 2 factors, and you're supposed to call them separately. If you make them small, when you delete, that factor might disappear. You might left with 1, and 1 item can make a factor. Then you lose that factor completely. Which means from your literature review, from the questionnaire, from the data, you need to do away with that factor completely. I'm saying if you are going to have a factor which won't be able to stand on its own strongly, like what we see right now, it happens. What I'm telling you right now, it happens. Last week, it happened to me when I was doing analysis, right? So when you have a situation like that, it means that factor, you have to do away with it from the literature review, because whatever you put in you write in your, or you design your questionnaire must be written in literature review, isn't it? So which means that component in literature review must be taken out, right? On the questionnaire, you must take it out. On the data set, take it out. Otherwise, if you leave it there, you are opening a can of worms. Some examiners may not understand this process. So for them to understand that you deleted it because of what, you are going to fight. Sometimes that fight, you won't win it. Yes. I ran exploratory factor analysis. And once you have this, you now have to interpret the results. Here we're just making sure that this is good enough. We haven't started interpreting these results. We haven't started. We now have to interpret now. Myself, I recommend 6. When you're cleaning, 2. Yeah. At least 2 items can measure a construct. Yeah. Sometimes you can clean up to that. But if those 2, one of them has got a factor loading of below 0.4 or 0.5, then you also have to delete it as well. Factor loading, yeah. So So if you are following Costello and Osborne 2010, it means you retain 0.5 and above. But if you are following Colin Dickens 2007, then you follow 0.4. Yeah, it's still acceptable. Then it's still acceptable.
Yo, wait, wait. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Wait. Mavis, where are you getting your 0.7 from? Yeah?
No,
Mavis.
I talk. You said for the factor loadings, like the results that we just ran now, you
Mavis,
said, yes,
0.7 applies to what we call outer loadings, not cross loadings. Understand?
Okay, yes, thank you for that.
0.7 applies to what we call outer loadings, not cross loadings. And outer loadings, you get them from smart POS, not from SPSS. There's a difference between outer loadings and cross loadings. Yes, the outer loadings, you get them when you run smart POS, you get the outer loadings. The minimum there is 0.7. I agree with you there. But those are outer loadings. The ones which you are dealing with are factor loadings. And the minimum of factor loading is 0.4, according to Dickens. Okay, can you see? Yeah. Wait. Let me show you some sources. So that you can learn. You see, John Wood and Colin Dickens. Yeah. If you go to page 242, right? Yeah. Page 242. You see, yeah. I think for the vector loading should be 243. Is this one? But I want this one, this part. Then where are we talking about vector loadings? Here. Can you see? Yeah. A loading of 0.40 on a vector can be considered as meaningful. Are you getting it?
Yes, Doc, thank you.
Yes. Talking from experience.
Thank you so much. At least I'm now clear on that mix-up.
So there's a difference between vector loadings and outer loadings. Outer loadings, you get them from smart POS results. Then vector loadings, you get them from SPSS, right?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc.
Sharp, yes.
Can you please go back to the web? Can you please explain this one more time? Why are the values, the higher values, are using that?
That's what we're expecting. We're expecting. Remember on your question here, you've got these items, right? And you are saying they are measuring ton. That's exactly what is happening there. And that's what we want. Because if you are going to see these LCs, right, falling onto other components or other factors, then there's a problem with your questionnaire design.
Mean the higher values.
Let's, you want me to run something? Okay. Okay. I think you guys, you want to see something clear. Then when you see something clear, you'll be surprised what's happening here. Okay, let me think of another. Let me think of another project. Okay, so okay, so I've got this one, right? Let me run this one so that you you see what I'm telling you about. You see, it's even failing to converge. You see, this one is even failing to converge. So if it fails to converge, you change the maximum iterations here. So from 25, I'm going to put 100. Otherwise, I don't want to redo this again. So I'm going to put 100 here, right? So that it can converge. Then I go down again to the rotated component matrix. Here we go. So can you see? Even if you okay, let me just copy and paste it to Word so that you see half of here. Because I want you to see half of here, right? I'm going to only highlight here until here, right? Can you see what I've highlighted? How many factors are here? Only on one component. How many factors are being shown there? How many? Yeah? How many factors are represented there?
6.
There's BEE, right? There's BVAM. There's PRT. There's BE. To make them 4 factors being represented in one component. That's a disaster. We don't expect that. This is worse. No, this is a worse situation anyway. So can you see what we had and compare to this? So which means this is failing constant validity. This is a failure on constant validity because the way we are expecting the items to measure certain factors is not happening like that. So this is a failure. Even if can you see here? Yeah, so number 2 is better, right? Component number 2 is better because you can see that it is having what? It is in only the BEE, which is good, right? Component 2 is better. Let's look at component 3. It's a disaster again because there's a combination of ITN and what in the ARS. So yeah, that's what factor analysis happen. Yes.
If you are analyzing pure process.
Yeah.
So
Isn't it that that's what you're crying for? You wanted this, isn't it? What are you saying? And you got this. Okay, so I think you have learned the difference, right? Yes, that's the reason why I'm saying what I presented to you in this example. In years and years, myself, I've seen it 3 times. Only 3, and I have even documented it to say project this and project this and project this, because it's rare. Okay, so let's continue from where we were, where we had our perfect solution.
So please place of this guy is all
Okay, so I'm continuing from that perfect solution, right? That's where I'm continuing from. So now we are moving on to interpretation of results. We are moving on to interpretation of results. Okay, so whilst you are supposed to check your rotated component matrix first, right? When that part is good, you go up and you start to interpret. So when you're interpreting, you start with the KMO and balance test. This table, this more table, that's where you begin your interpretation with. Are we there? So when you're interpreting, you work on the KMO and the balance test of sphericity. So the KMO is the case-mere open measure of sampling frequency, right? It is measured between 0 and 1. The KMO is measured between 0 and 1. The KMO is measured between 0 and 1, right? With 0.6 recommended as the minimum value, right? 0.6 is the recommended value, is the minimum recommended value, 0.6, minimum recommended value by Tabnikek and Fidel 2013. By Tabnik and Fidel 2013. Tabnik and Fidel, where are you? Yeah? Let me check. Where are those references? Okay, here we go. This one. The first one here. Tabnik and Fidel 2013. Using multivariate statistics. Okay, so you got the source, right? Eh? Yeah.
You get frequencies and
hypothesis testing is a broad thing. If you say hypothesis testing is a broad word, it's also broad. The type of analysis under inferential statistics. Chi-square test. Measuring associations. Yeah.
So the frequency there's just there. for data analysis. Very enough. You have to show.
Normally, it's not enough, especially for masters and PhD. It's not enough. Inferential statistics most, and also the chi-square. That person could have done chi-squares because your question here could have only have a single response and multiple response questions only. And remember my first lecture when I said questionnaire design will map your analysis. So if you don't have constructs in your questionnaire, what do you expect that person to do further inferential states without chi-square test? The only further which you can go if you've got single and multiple response type of questions in a questionnaire, you end there at chi-square tests and frequencies, done. You can't do more. You can't do even what we are doing, the validating of the questionnaire. You can't even do it as well. Yes. You can't even do it. Then you do all these things. I told you most from questionnaire design. So why do you think I was doing questionnaire design on the first day? I was doing questionnaire design because I knew that we were coming here. And I told you that that's the only way to have inferential statistics which are meaningful, including constructs. Okay, so ours is 0.956, isn't it? So what does the KSML measure of sampling adequacy does? What it does is it measures the adequacy of your sample size, right? The KMO measures the adequacy of your sample size, whether your sample size is sufficient enough for us to run factor analysis. That's what it takes. If you have got lesser numbers, ideally, one item, you must have at least 5 people, according to Julie Paland, right? If you've got one item in a questionnaire, it must go with 5 people. Are you getting me? One item. The ratio is 1 item to 5 people. That's the ratio when you're now calculating the sample size. So in this questionnaire, how many items do we have if you check it? This one. I want to give you homework now. I'm coming in 5 minutes time. I want you to tell me. So I want you to count from here, from section B until the last section. How many items do we have, right? From section B or section 2, how many items do we have? Then you multiply by 5. That's the minimum sample size. I'm coming. Coming.
So it's so they were coming I think that is but the question of that is
So my question is, seeing this analysis in our it's but if I can know that we can see it. I will do. This one is maybe I should tell you this. So I have to take one. Answers. Over 100 people who answered. So why don't I test this? Because there's a complication. I think so. I think people are saying, because obviously, they're like, 12 people use that. So maybe 5 people answer. Yes, I think which people not. I think that's the question. Yeah, it's a very good. I think she said oh yeah. This one, she so if you're willing to invest and say yes, read the example setting. So it is
Okay. How many? 220. Complete cases. We don't want missing. Complete cases, right? Yeah. Huh? To 20 complete cases, right? Yeah. Hmm?
So you said that
1 is to 5 years. Yeah. Okay. There are two answers into that, right? There are two answers into that. According to Palant, it just suggested that per one item, you need 5 individuals, right? Then Colin Dickens has got a different view, but it also goes down to about 5 years while. You see here, calculating sample size. So to calculate the sample size required to test validity, right? The following rule of thumb is used. So you multiply the levels. For example, if you are using a 5-point scale or Likert scale, right? With the total number of questions in all the dimensions. So which means if you are using a 5-Likert scale, you are still going to multiply 5 by what? By all the number of items. So it still come back to the same. But this one takes it from the number of Likert scale. Let's say you are using 7 times. So which means if you've got a wider scale, we also need what? Many participants, according to Dickens. Look, sample size calculation sometimes depends with the analysis which you want to do. So if you are going to have some constructs and you want to do construct validity, either CFA or EFA, you need to follow these rules. Because if you do have smaller samples, your KMO won't be 0.6 and above, suggesting that it's not sufficient. So which means you calculate the sample size different. 5 times this, you get the number. 7 times this, you get the number. Then you add everything. Yeah. But for consistency, we recommend to have with same size. Okay. Yes. Epi info. Yes. Look, you need to know what you are doing. You're not just calculating sample size. You need to know what you are doing. Normally, sample size depends on what you want to analyze. Yeah. But you see with EpiInfo, normally when you are using EpiInfo, you are calculating your sample size based on the population, right? To say you've got so much in terms of your population. So the way EpiInfo calculates the sample sizes is normally based on population, and it's the same as what they call the sample size table created by Christian and Morgan in 1970. So it follows that. Okay, that's why we are there, Moses. That's why we are there. Look, I'm very sorry to say this, right? We are teaching you to know or to have, but surely in one workshop, I'm sorry to say this, you can't train yourself to be like me. They're a lot of things to know, Moses. But you need to know the basics. So normally sample size calculation, right, is informed by what you want to do. And also what information is available. For example, if you don't have the population, right, you can't use that sample size calculator from EpiInfo because it needs the population. So if you don't have the population, you can't, right? So that is a limitation. Yeah. So you need to know which parameters to use, where and how. Yes. This one is a book, this one. Are we there? Okay, let's go back to our interpretation. Oh, you got a good question.
Just 44 times. What is the significance of that number 220?
The sufficiency of the sample size. So if you are supposed to do EFA or CFA, you need to have, so for that particular question here, you need to have such a number. Otherwise, your KMO value here won't be above 0.6. Yeah. Yeah. It will be minimum for that particular question here, right? Yeah. Okay, so then also you need to look at the Bartlett's test of sphericity. And according to Bartlett 1954, it has been recommended that the p-value needs to be below 0.05. Right? So if you see in SPSS, where there's a sig, that's your p-value, right? So this sig is your p-value, right? So which means this must be below 0.05. So because it's below 0.001, automatically this is below what? 0.05. So it's statistically significant, right? So that's what we want for the Bartlett's test of sphericity. So which means your KMO and your Bartlett's test of sphericity, they are supporting the data to be factorability, right? So which is good, which is a very good thing, right? So once these two are good enough, then we move to the total variance explain table, right? We then move.
Sorry, just a question from online, please, before we continue.
Okay, talk to me.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry. So I've written there, if you scroll a little bit up, what I had an issue with, and I found the number of components in the total variance table to be 43. But when I added up the questions from the PDF, it added up to be 44. What happened to ESA 10? My question's there if you just scroll a little bit up. Because I also got, when I used the total variance table, if you go scroll to the bottom, the count ends at 43. And then I looked at what is different between our data sheet in IBM and the PDF. And it seems that ESA 10 is missing. So we have 44 in the PDF and then 43 in this data sheet. And then in our results. So why is it different? What happened to ESA 10?
ESA 10 is not there.
Yes, even in yours, because I've got the same results as you now, because I've followed your steps, right? So if you look, so if you look at the data sheet, ESA 10 in data view is not there. So you see, if you see the add up, right? You say our sample size is 220. Yeah, you say our sample size is 220, but if you go look at sorry, let me just see this table again. The total variance explained, our count of components is only 43 and not 44.
Okay, wait. It was not also measured here.
Yeah, that's
It
what I'm
was not
saying. So
measured.
everyone's saying, yeah, you're saying our total counts 220. So at first I got 215. Then I saw the other colleagues were getting different numbers, and I went to recalculate, and I saw that it was supposed to be 215, but then from the PDF we had 44 components. Therefore, you get the 220.
Okay, it was.
So that's where I noticed there was
which
one
means it's gonna
missing.
be
Yeah.
215.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the IBM data sheet that you've given us, from our questionnaire, it should be 44
Okay,
times
normally-
5, which is
okay,
220. So there's a discrepancy there. I'm a little bit confused at what happened to ESI 10.
Okay, normally when you are calculating that sample size, you are calculating based on your questionnaire, not on the data file. Because the questionnaire is the one which you use to collect the to collect the data, right? Yeah. So this comes after from the field. So your sample size is calculated based on the questionnaire, not on this.
Okay.
But thanks for
So
highlighting
then what happened then to that? Was that maybe like a bad data or a bad question or something? Maybe didn't have respondents and then they've removed it or something. Something must have happened that they've removed the data.
It might have too much missing. That's why it was removed.
Okay. Okay. Noted. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sharp. Yes. The game of value. Yeah, it can happen, yes. But let's say specificity and KMO, they measure different things. So you might get unfavorable results. That's the reason why we have recommended values or threshold values to measure from. That's the reason why I'm saying for the KMO, you must make sure that it's above 0.6. If it's not good enough, then Bartlett specificity, the p-value must be below 0.05. So which means whatever you get, you must check all your results based on those recommended values. Yeah. So with EFA, you've got a lot of recommended values to remember. Yeah. And I shall tell you more again. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, which means you can't proceed with your EFA results. So which means you can't talk about consult validity in your write-up.
So you must disregard the data from the contract.
Because consult validity. Okay, for your own information, there's a question here, which is a very good question anyway. For your own information, consult validity is very important in the sense that once consult validity doesn't work very well, right? You don't have, if I can say, the passport to do inferential statistics. Are you getting it? So consult validity is the passport for you to conduct inferential statistics. So once consult validity is not validated, you don't have the passport to do inferential statistics. That's the problem. That's the reason why you see examiners at PhD and at masters, they do have on one of their rubrics, they ask whether your questionnaire meets consult validity and reliability. Especially FETS and the UP, those two universities, you don't get your PhD or your masters if those two are not passing. Never.
So from these on us, many of them just take forget to show that we
look, there's a lot of output here. If you look here, can you see? There's a lot of output from here, going down here. There's a lot of output, right? So under normal circumstances, you need to have a good skill of compacting everything into like one table. Because with publications, you've got limited number of tables, right? Which they will tell you that you need so many tables in a paper. So you can't present all of this. Remember, you still have demographic, you still have demographics, you still have this, you still have other inferential states. So normally you need to present all these results of EFA in one table. So that's another skill. No, custom table is for descriptives most. This, I'm saying you need to compact information from EFA into a one table. Okay, if you check one of my papers, okay, let me show you. Eh? You're perishing. Why? Okay, let me check one of my papers. Okay, here we go. This one. Can you see? Can you see? Exploratory effect analysis results, reliability analysis results, everything in one table. You see? Then, wow, publish a paper. So you can download this paper. Then you can see how we can write those results. The name of the paper. So every paper with my name, if you see this test there, I'm the one who did this test and write them. Okay, what do I have? Okay, so from this paper you can see how EFA results can be reported, right? Good.
Why would you show us how to now consolidate the table?
No, time.
Here
you go. You.
Because you are doing with an measuring construct validity. I have to measure it for my result. I have to show it in terms of the results. You're saying how much less than please show me the table. How do I measure?
So you interpret from what I've studied, the KMO, the BAT list. Now we are on the total variance explained. Yeah. So on the total variance explained table, you need to follow Kayser's criterion 1970, right? You need to follow Kayser's criterion when you are interpreting the total variance explained. Kayser's criterion. Kayser. This one. Kayser 1970. This one. Kayser 1970. Yeah. So this guy came up with what is called the Kayser's criterion or the Kayser's eigenvalue criterion of greater than 1. That's his rule, which he formulated. So I think when we were running the results, you saw somewhere where it was greater than 1. Did you see when we're doing our analysis? Okay, I know you may not have seen that because, okay, let me show you. You see here, under extraction, based on eigenvalues greater than what? Yes. So that's where we are getting it from. So when SPSS was being programmed, They programmed this part according to who? According to KSC in 1970. Understand? Yes. So, which then means that when you go to our total variance explained, this column here represents what we call eigenvalues. This column represents what? Eigenvalues. So we only consider eigenvalues with a value of 1 and what? And above. So how many eigenvalues should we consider here? 5. Thank you. But those are the ones with what? Exactly. You are hearing some Greek. Let me see my online fellows whether they are surviving. Online, are you fine?
We are simply watching Prof.
Yeah.
We are just simply looking, trying to make sense of everything.
You're trying to make sense out of it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm happy if you are fine. Then, so we are saying these are eigenvalues, right? And we look at those eigenvalues with a value of 1 and above. So in this case, there are 5 of them, right? Then, from these 5 eigenvalues, we then look at the variance explained. How do they contribute to the total variance? So, which means component 1 is contributing 57.635% towards the total variance. How do we calculate the total variance? We calculate the total variance by adding the variance extracted for the first 5. That's how we get the total variance explained, right? So we add the variance explained, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Then we get the total variance explained. Then according to He et al., the recommended total variance explained is 60%, the minimum one. The minimum total variance explained recommended is what? 60%. Also, Colin Diggins supports that as well. 60%. I'll show you just now. Yeah. Cumulative percentage explained by the factors, 60%. So also Colin Diggins share the same sentiment. He et al. And Colin Diggins, they share the same sentiment, 60%. Minimum recommended total variance explained. Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not easy to explain these things. Both yourself, you need to know these things first before you explain them to people.
So what does the minimum, what does the above 60 explain?
It means they are strong. It means that's how good the what can I say? The console validity is. Yeah.
I don't understand something. We got a perfect solution, but this total
is 72.
Is
76.533. No, it will never, because can you see others here? Yeah, all of these nonsense below here. Yeah, so it can be 100%. Yeah.
Total variance explains how the balance.
The minimum has to be 60%. Yeah. So that's the reason why for each and everything we do have recommended threshold values or recommended values. So that's what we work with every time.
In the case when SPSS does a run and gets the effector being greater than 1, but the total variance explained is say 58, what will be then?
It's still good. It's still fine. So sometimes we normally accept between 50, 50 and above, we normally accept. Yeah, but sometimes there are which are very, very bad. So yeah. Then you motivate. Yeah, then you motivate. Yeah, then you motivate. As long as your rotated component matrix is good enough, then the other parts here you write and motivate. Rotated component matrix is the main important thing. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Multiple response. No, you can't do factor analysis on multiple response. Eh? On a legal scale. Come again on that one question. Eh.
Using the case tree
In similar what? In single response questions. I think you need to show me how your question is like. Yeah, because I'm failing to understand. Yes. Okay, I can't hear you online. Online. Okay. Are you quiet? I can't hear you. Shinta.
Hi. So my question is, with whether it's with the p-values and where they're supposed to be, or the that 0.6 recommended by Tabernic and that other person, Fidel, and this cumulative percentage at above 60, engine value above 1. If you do your data collection and these criteria are not met, then what do you do? Do you repeat it, or what happens? I don't know if you understand my question.
Look. Yeah, your question. Look, I think here the first thing which you should have learned, right, is to have sufficient sample size, right? And I think I told you how to calculate it. So once you have sufficient sample size, before you go to the field, because we need to avoid some of these things failing, like what you're asking. So personally, if you are working with me, let's say you have designed your questionnaire for the first time, or you have edited your questionnaire substantially, I'll ask you to go and collect 30 responses. 30 responses for pilot study. Then we measure the Cronbach's alpha using those 30 responses. Sometimes, or most of the times, if your Cronbach's alpha is going to work very well on the 30 responses, it's most likely that your EFA will also work very well once you collected maybe the 220. or whatever sample size which you are going to collect. Myself, that's what I normally do to avoid failing the way you're asking. Especially if it's a newly designed questionnaire or it's a questionnaire substantially edited. I normally recommend 30 responses. We do the Cronbach's alpha. The Cronbach's alpha will be able to tell us whether that value 0.7, right, is achieved or not. If it's not, the Cronbach's alpha, what it does is it will tell us which of the items are reducing the recommended Cronbach's alpha value of 0.7. Then once we know those items which are reducing the Cronbach's alpha, I'll tell you to rework your questionnaire at that stage. Then you collect another pilot of 30 again. Right? Then once we get all our Cronbach's alpha, fine. Then I can recommend you now to go to the main study. Are you answered, Shinda?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. That makes sense.
Sure. Component what? 6. If we go to our output. Why does it what? Because it's below 1. Yeah. Because what we are only looking at, we are only considering again values with 1 and above. Yeah. Okay. Are we fine online? No more question. I can't see any end. Okay, TN, TR. Oh, you're saying you're fine. Okay. JK, you've got a question?
No, I'm saying
Go
I'm
ahead.
fine. I'm saying I'm fine, Prof. Thanks.
You're fine now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sorry, sir, I wanted to ask, do we need to use all these data that we've received? Can't a person, for example, based on how they would like to interpret their data, choose and pick? At the beginning, we did descriptive statistics, right? So you can find that some of your data, you just simply need to know to use frequencies to explain the relevance of what you collected. And then when it comes, for example, to things like section B, which have so many variables, you still do use frequencies, but then you just bring the KMO and the ballot just to bring validity to your statistics without using these other data sets or these other data that SPSS has given you. Is that fine?
Okay, it depends with the degree which you are doing, right? Normally, descriptive statistics is not sufficient for most masters in the PhD studies, right? So hence, after doing your descriptive statistics and you are using your questionnaire, you need to do what you are doing to validate your questionnaire. Because validating the questionnaire is your passport to do some inferential statistics. That's what you need to know. So without validating the questionnaire, you can't do inferential statistics. I'm not sure if you answered or I didn't hear you correctly.
Yes, I've been answered. Like, in part, like I understand you. It's just that I thought if, for example, can't you just use for experiential analysis just the KMO and Scarlet, and ballot just to bring validity to your questionnaire without now using this other data set that I'm saying, like variables, cumulative something.
Yeah, you have to write all those things. No, you can't just end on that small table. Then you say you've presented results on EFA. No, it's not enough.
But if I cannot explain explain those other stuff.
You have to. You have to.
You have to explain. That's the presentation of the result.
Yeah. You can't explain part of the results. Then you say, because KMO in Bartlett, they are sufficient. Then you don't go to the cases to the total variance explained, script plot, total variance. No, you can't.
Okay.
Sharp. Yes.
Yes, Prof, you were reciting something about Cronbach alpha. I'm requesting that you just recite it as to its minimum and maximum values and the likes.
Okay. Someone who, some of those, I think you know that in research, there are those people who we call authorities, right? So,
yes.
Yeah. So according to Nunali is one of those authorities who speaks about Kronbach's alpha, Nunali. I think Nunali around 1970 something again. Let me check. He speaks about 0.7. Let me check if I do have his, 1978, yes, Nunali. And those people, if you ask it about these people and someone's going to tell you your references, they're outdated, you tell them that these are the authorities, right? Yeah. All other people are copying from these people. Bartlett, Kezia, Nunali, yeah, these are the authorities in these things. So Nunali 1978 suggested 0.7 as the minimum recommended value for the Cronbach's alpha. Yeah. Did you get it?
Yes, seconded. Prof, I'm not sure if maybe through you we can request to have these 6 references as part of the training material so that when we have spare time, we can try to browse these books.
Oh, okay.
It's a special request, Prof.
Okay, I hear you. Okay, so
Seconded, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you got a question? Okay, I'll check on it.
How calculated the percentage? I think I told it to be 76.5. Is that a good, like, how can we measure? Well, you said the minimum is 60.
Yes.
From the 60, I would say 100 to the best.
No, any above 60, we are fine. Yeah, yeah. That's the reason why we do have these threshold values to say minimum of this is this, minimum of this is this. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So I think we are done with the total variance explained, right? Then we move on to the script plot. So what the script plot is doing here is just also helping you to extract the number of factors to be used in the effect analysis, right? And this was created by Cattell. The guy is called Cattell's. This is called Cattell's script plot, 1966. If I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken, but Cattell 1960 something, right? Is the one who created that thing, and he uses what we call the elbow criterion. The elbow criterion. So myself, to be honest enough, I don't normally use this elbow criterion because it also confuses me. So I rely on case as criterion, but that one is easier. You know, 1 and above, you are fine. But the elbow, right now we've got here where there's sort of an elbow here, we've got this. So normally you then see that where if you see according to Kezia, the eigenvalue here. So you see, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Y-axis where there's an eigenvalue. Then here component, which means the number of factors. So if you are going to take the answer which we got from Kezia there, that we've got 5 factors, if you draw a dotted line from here, going to the script plot or to the curve, you see that this is the elbow, which we then talk about, where you then go and some other dotted lines again to the y-axis to meet what? To meet your one. But it's very confusing. So yeah.
So they tell you the same thing.
Yeah, they talk the same thing, yes. Yeah, so Cartel script plot collaborates what case as criterion does. They talk the same thing. No, on the number of components or number of factors to be extracted.
So my question is, we have been in total variance. You were telling us about the 60%.
No, we are not talking about the 60%. We are talking about the number of components to be retained. Remember, we said here we are retaining 5 because of Kaiser 1 and above, right? So that is exactly what is being said about Cartel here. That if we go here on the elbow, then we go to the y-axis, there will be a 1 somewhere here. And the 1 is collaborating with how many components here? 5. Yes, they collaborate each other. Yeah.
Is it like using both is it something that need for robustness?
In a thesis, you can shine. In a dissertation, in a thesis, you can shine it in both. Yeah. But with the paper now, maybe you can remove that, you know. Then you use the Yes, the next committee after. Yeah, that's the next thing. Yeah. You ever seen that? Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. So then from the Cartel script plot, you go to the rotated component matrix. Then you go back to the rotated component matrix. This one. You go back to the rotated component matrix. So here, the way you report the rotated component matrix is you need to tell us the name of component 1. In fact, the extracted components, you need to tell us their names, right? Or you need to label the extracted components. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, according to this one, right? So you can just repeat what we got from the questionnaire, right? Or what we heard from the questionnaire, right? Then you also tell us the range of the vector loadings from the minimum to the maximum. You tell us the range of the vector loadings from the minimum to the maximum and whether they meet the threshold value. I think I gave you two values, minimum of 0.4 according to Collins-Diggins and the 0.5 according to Costello and Osborne, right? So you choose you choose one of them. So for example, if you go to your shaded thing, here's minimum, here's minimum. This one is the minimum, but the lowest here, I think you can see that is 0.528. So that's the lowest out of all the vector loadings, right? So you take that one, 0.528. Then the highest will be 0.54 there, 744. The highest will be 0.822. So which means your vector loadings, they are ranging from 0.528 to 0.822. So you can safely use the minimum of 0.5 because all of them, they're above 0.5, right? And you can reference your Costello and Osborne, right? Without fear there, right? Yeah. Yeah. They tell us how strong our items are in measuring their respective constructs. In measuring the respective constructs. Are we there? Are we there? Okay. Okay, so basically, you've told us the factor names or the component names. You've explained the factor loadings. Then yeah, so we are fine. That's what you speak about. Then so yeah, so it would be like 2 pages, something like that, writing about EFA. So so it's now 7 to 4. We've done EFA, but on one part on console validity, we didn't do the dimension reduction, right? Okay. Before we move on to the dimension reduction, do you have any questions so far? Do you have any questions so far? Here and online, do you have questions on what we've done?
Yes, Prof, just one question. You mentioned 2 pages right up. The 2 pages, is it that how many tables and how many weights, roughly?
Okay, as I have indicated that, as I have indicated that when you are doing a write-up, right, in a dissertation or in a thesis, you can copy this table, the first one here, you write about it the way I've advised. You also copy this one, you write about it the way I've advised. You copy your script plot, you write. Then finally, you take your related component matrix, you write. So this can be even more than 2 pages if you are going to do that. But in a paper, you don't have such luxury because in a paper, you are limited in terms of the number of tables to present. So which then means that I would advise you to visit my paper. I think there are more than 2-3 papers which I've published with EFA included. You just Google my name, then you get my papers. Some of them, they do have this kind of write-up, right? So in a paper, you can Google my name, you see how I present. And I've already given you an example of one of them, right? Because in a paper, you don't have, you see, I think someone did well for us here. He or she went on to find the link and paste it here for all of us, which is good. So in a paper, you can see the way I present it, right? Because we don't have luxury of many pages and many tables. So you may follow the way I did in that paper, right? But in a dissertation or a thesis, you can copy paste all those tables and write them up. Fine. Right. Any questions? Any questions?
This we are writing up to call the police letter. We need to say above one of of the overseas.
No, don't quote me because I'm not the authority. Okay.
We mentioned those. I don't know what to call them. What do you call them?
Authorities. All those references which I was giving you.
My question is, during a write-up, we include all of these things, just to put one thing.
Yeah.
Why can't they just talk about only the total variance explained?
No.
Why do I have to?
You know what? In statistics, you remember in level 1, I said statistics is one of those easiest subjects. There are rules and regulations for everything. Follow those, then you're done. Yeah. It's only that what makes statistics a little bit difficult, right? Is the rules and regulations. They are what? There are too many. Only. But it is easy because for everything which you do, there's something which you need to follow. Then it makes life easy. Okay. So for the dimension reduction, let's quickly run it, right? So that you see how it is done. So can you please save your output? Can you please save your output? You save it as what? Exploratory effect analysis, a construct validity technique. Exploratory effect analysis, hyphen, construct validity technique, right? Save, validity technique. So save your output right now. Save your output like that, right? Save your output like that. Then once you save your output, can you please close the output? Can you please close the data file as well? Close the output, close the data file as well. Are we there? Close the output, close the data file as well. Are we there? Okay, so I'm also closing mine. Okay, then we go back to our folder. We go back to our folder. Then we open exploratory effect analysis for dimension reduction. We open the file exploratory effect analysis for dimension reduction, that one. That's the one which we're going to open. Right? This data file. Let's open this data file. Right? Let's quickly run our effect analysis for all those 15 questions. Let's run our effect analysis now for all those 15 questions. Let's run the effect analysis for all those 15 questions. You wrote your notes, right? Good. Follow your notes. I'm giving you 3 minutes to do that. Put all those 15 questions in the analysis. Eh? Yeah. Once you have the output, you are fine. Eh? You have it. What is it? 0.869. Online. What is your KMO? Okay,
So
good.
it's the same as yours.
0.869. Okay, good. So everyone with a KMO of 0.869, yeah, you did well, right? You did well. I'm happy. I'm proud of you. At least I can say the whole afternoon I'm rewarded. Okay, so let me quickly run mine and I'll tell you what to do here. Then we call it a day, right? This dimension reduction thing is very simple anyway. Yeah. It is it? Okay, so the same thing. You go to your rotated component matrix, right? So you take the same thing. You go to your what? Rotated component matrix. You go to your weight, right? And you play with colors, right? And you play with what? With colors as well. So I'll just highlight some important issues to look at here. I'll just highlight some important issues to look at. Okay, so these are my results. Are we there?
So just quick question, what can we save this Word document as? What can we save this Word document as?
Exploratory factor analysis, dimension reduction technique.
Thank you.
Exploratory factor analysis, dimension reduction technique.
Prof, since these questions are not, how do we allocate the colors? Do we still use the high and the low? And how?
Yes.
Because they are not structured most similar like the previous example that we did.
Okay. So what you need to understand is when we are dealing with dimension reduction, right? What we are doing there is okay. So this is the question here. This is the question here, which was developed to get that data which we are using. This one, which you see here. So what is happening here? I think I told you the very first day when you did questionnaire design that you have a situation whereby you have got a list of questions, but you are not sure the name of the construct which they are measuring, right? That's where dimension reduction come into play. So we have put all these 15 questions in EFA so that dimension reduction means those questions, they are being put into what? Into smaller groups. That is what means by dimension reduction. So you are not sure when you are designing your question here, which questions are measuring what. So you are using factor analysis to make smaller groups of these questions so that you can analyze them. Are you getting the understanding of dimension reduction technique? Previously, on constant validity, you knew that these ones, according to literature, they are measured by Nibani construct. These ones, they are measured. So you are just verifying. But here, you don't know. You are asking factor analysis to do it for you. Understand? So now with this output, what you're gonna do is you have to read. Go back to your question here. Read these statements and try to check what can they measure, right? So which means in qualitative analysis, we can say what a theme, isn't it? So find a theme in qualitative analysis, which is being measured by these items here on 1. The same applies to 2, the same applies to 3, the same applies to 4. That's what we call dimension reduction. Then once you get that information, you interpret again, starting from the what? From the KMO going down. Yes. Yes. We call them negative factor loadings. So which means that if you go back to the question, it might say something which is negative, right? We call them negative factor loadings. So this is what question 6. So if I go to question 6, a quiet classroom is generally needed for effective learning, right? So which means the participants who participated in this survey, they see as if having a quiet classroom is something negative, right? That's the reason why we've got a negative factor loading. It means they agreed. Yeah, let's see. They should have agreed. That's what I think. They should have. Let's do this. Very simple. Let's go to analysis. When I get away from here, how can I remove this? Good. Then I go frequencies here. I take question 6. I put him here. I do this. Let's see what's happening here. Can you see? So many are disagreeing with that. You can see. So which means many are disagreeing. Yeah? No, men are disagreeing. Can you see that we do it? What do we have? 177 plus 66. Then we have here we've got 109 plus 115. Which one is more? 177 plus 66. And
243.
And 109 plus 115. Which one is more?
224, yeah.
109 plus 115, 224. Then there we've got 177 plus 66, 243. So which means men are agreeing.
Seconded. Prof?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yes, I'm seconding what you just said now.
So remember, that's what I was thinking, that men should have been agreeing to that, right? To that fact that a quiet classroom is good, right? So which means if you think that that is the ideal thing according to you, remember, research is kind of, you are doing it to yourself and your supervisor. Those are the people who are doing the research. So if you think that's not a good thing, you do what we call reverse coding. You perform reverse coding if you think that's not a good thing. Then if you perform reverse coding, you find that when you perform reverse coding, then you do threat analysis again, you get a positive factor loading instead of a negative factor loading. You still have to check the value.
They're showing us questions that can relate to the same constant.
Yeah.
So are you saying the negative side doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter in that regard, yes. So question 6, question 8, question 12. Then, yeah, so these three, they are measured in component 3, which means they are likely to measure something similar. Yeah. Question 15 is going with question 14. Here is 0.67. These ones. The grouping is done by the software. That's what you're asking. We are saying you have designed your questionnaire without knowing which is which, right? You are now asking the software to group them for you. That's the reason why we are saying dimension reduction. The previous was construct validity. You have already formulated your constructs according to literature. But this one you don't know. You're asking the software to do it for you. Yeah. So what you are left with only here is to go back to the questionnaire, right? Read the way they've grouped together, and you come up with a what? With a construct name only. That's what you're supposed to do. Then you go back and you start doing your descriptives, your custom tables, your what? Because now you can write better because they are now divided into what? Into smaller groups.
Your questions, right? We're not very well. Your questions, your side questions are points actually.
Yeah, so in this case, you don't know. You are designing a questionnaire. You do have. Can you see here? This is the questionnaire. Yeah, but you are not sure how to group your questions according to certain constructs. You just bundle them together. But now you are leaving the board to EFA to group into smaller groups for you. Yeah. Yes.
Just want to announce to those who are online that they must fill in the feedback survey that I have posted on the chat box. If you don't receive resources, it's because you didn't give me your email address. And from tomorrow, I won't send privately send resources, because there are others who, when I say fill in the feedback survey, they don't fill it in. But then later they will ask me to send resources like one by one. So I just send a bulk email. I get the emails from the feedback survey, including those who are here. Because if you don't receive resources, it means you didn't give me your email address for me to send. And I take like from those who have attended today and the ones that I will give access to the session for tomorrow. Doing affair like that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, Shinda is asking for how do we do reverse coding? I'm not sure.
Hi, Doc. Have you sent the link for the feedback? I've not seen it.
The one that is on the chat.
Okay, I can see it now. Thank you.
Okay, so reverse coding, you do it via the transform function in SPSS, but what you just do is, let's say you've got your 5 Likert scale, your 5 will become a 1, then your 4 will become a 2, then your 3 will remain your 3, then your 2 will become a 4, and your 1 will become a 5. That's what we call reverse coding. But you do it via the transform function of SPSS. That's how you do it. Yeah, that's reverse coding. Okay, so I hope you now have an idea of what is construct validity and what is dimension reduction, isn't it? Are there any questions about this? So please save your SPSS output file. Save also your Word document, and all of them you are saving them using exploratory factor analysis dimension reduction technique, right? So save your SPSS output file, also save the Word document. Then tomorrow, very quickly, we will do reliability analysis and finalize for today's workshop. Then we'll begin on the combining of groups techniques. Then we'll begin on the comparing of group techniques. I think before 11 tomorrow, you will receive your material for comparing of group techniques. Please, once you receive the material, make it a point that you download it, you unzip it, and you save it in your bigger folder written SPSS training, right? Don't do it when you are here, now you are falling behind and it will delay the process. Okay, yes?
Now, I have a question about question coding constraints. So we did have a list of questions. We didn't know which questions can address one constraint. Would you now recommend that when one is developing a questionnaire, have a list of questions first, then do this, then take those questions and come up with a constraint instead of coming up with the constructed questions at the same time? I'm not sure if you understand my comment.
I do, but you need data to do this.
Probably also the dimensional reduction of those things.
Yeah.
Like actually, confidence. On what basis?
On what basis did I what? Okay, every time you look for the highest value across the row. Yeah. That's how you do the shading, the playing of colors. Yeah, so you see the first column 0.797 is the highest value across. Yeah. Eh? Yeah, because if you see here on question 5, the highest value is here. On question 5, the highest value across the row is 0.873. Check carefully. Wherever I'm shading, it is the highest value across that row. Check carefully. Yeah. So for your own information, the material which you have, there is a document written exploratory effect analysis, dimension reduction technique among your resources, right? That document was written based on this data which we have, right? The document which you have is based on the data which you have. So you can see that it is helping you. You see, it is helping you now to say factor 1, if we look at it, it is called Bani, right? You can see here, all these, they are all seem to be about aspects of social interaction in the learning process. As such, we might want to name this factor social learning. So it's now teaching you now how to come up with what? With the constructs. So if you go through the document which you have right now, written exploratory factor analysis, you see the possible construct names or factor names to be given to those particular factors on page 11 and page 12. Understand? Good. So are you happy with the amended action?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Team of 5 factors, 4 factors. How do you feel about the dimension actually?
The software does itself. Yeah. It groups to say these are the items which seems to be measuring something similar. So yourself, you are now supposed to go back to the question here. Read those items that they are grouped. Come up with a theme or a factor name. So now you see that here, this document, as I'm saying, is written based on what we've just done. So you see, the first items grouped together, they are being said, the aspects measuring kind social what? Social learning, right? So they give the name social learning. Yeah. Then you go back, factor 2 here is going to be called inclusivity. Factor 3, self-directed learning, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe just one quick one.
Yeah.
I saw when I was running this, the laws were recorded the items, like according to the construct codes. Mine it was presenting them there.
The weights.
Yes, which I found it cumbersome to.
It's because of the edit.
How codes instead of the.
It's because of the edit options. So if here yours is labels, if it's labels, it will give you the whole statements.
So what?
Edit options. Yeah, before you run is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so you change from display labels to display names. Yeah. Okay. Online, do we have any question?
Yes, Prof. Just one last question. How often do we get to use this dimension reduction, since most of the question here, we know which constructs we want to measure, and we have the variables that are helping us to measure those constructs.
Yeah, so if you're organized, if you have got an organized question here where you have particular statements or items measuring a particular construct, just like the situation which we had earlier, there's no need of doing what we have. You do like what we did earlier. That's the reason why I started with construct validity, because that's the common one. Then end with dimension reduction. So the only situation which you use this is whereby you don't know which items measure what. Right?
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, sharp. Any other question? Okay, if we don't have any question, let's call it a day.
Sorry, sir. I have one more question. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had 3 resources given in the thing. Is the last one, we've done 2. Is the last one the one that you said we're going to start early tomorrow?
We do have what?
In our resource pack you gave us today, we had 3 SPS data sets and 3 PDFs. We did 2 of them, 2 sets, like 2 names. So the last one, are you saying we're going to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to start with tomorrow, the reliability analysis.
Okay, 100%. Yeah. Okay, I'm following. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sharp.
Thank you so much for monitoring today's session. For those who have joined us online, I'm now ending the recording for the session, and I wish you a great day further.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, tomorrow.
Thank you.